Let's get nice and cozy for the video. Whew, it's cold. Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. So today is December 31, so it's New Year's Eve, but obviously when I upload this, it's not gonna be New Year's Eve anymore. So Happy New Year, everyone. 2022 is here. And honestly, it's just weird saying that number, 2022. Damn, I'm still in that little area where I think I am like pre-pandemic, around Feb 2020, and I was 22, but now I'm turning, I don't want to say. Anyway, this is gonna be a super chill video. We're just gonna be answering a few questions from Instagram, because I went on there and I asked if you guys had any questions for me, you know, ask me anything, that kind of thing. So this isn't really pertaining to anything specific. Also, if you haven't followed me on Instagram, please go ahead and give me a follow, because that's usually where I go to ask these kinds of things. So yeah, I have a glass of wine with me, so cheers and Happy New Year. First question. The first question isn't really much of a question, but I guess I'll just comment on it. I'm a student and I really want to get into photography and filmmaking, but I can't ask my parents for a camera. I can relate to that a lot, but honestly, you don't really need a big camera like a mirrorless or a DSLR to make good videos and take good photos. Honestly, just start with your phone. Smartphones now are definitely phenomenal when it comes to image quality and all that stuff. It's not like the ones we grew up with, which were basically potato cameras on phones. You can do so much on them now, but there's just so much more that goes into making good videos and taking good photos that just aren't related to the camera, like lighting and composition, all of that stuff you can learn without owning an actual camera. So just start with your smartphone. Next up is Fuji X-E4 or X-S10 for daily photography. I would say go for the Fuji X-E4 because it has that retro Fujifilm style that everybody seems to love, where you have dials, and it's just a much more interesting shooting experience for photos. I think the Fujifilm X-S10 is leaning a little bit more towards video. So yeah, X-E4 for photos. Both are gonna be good either way. Favorite moment this year? This is hard. 2021 was definitely a much better year compared to 2020 for me, because I cried a lot less this year, 100%. But I'm having a hard time thinking about what my best moment was this year. Maybe getting my first paycheck. But I think it was probably like when me and my mom were eating out and I got my card and I said like, I got this. Maybe that. Given that you're balancing everything from work, ACADS, YouTube, how do you recharge your soul? I really like this question. Like, how do you recharge your soul? Okay, so I'm a very, very big nerd. I love anime, manga, video games, stuff like that. So one thing I've really been getting into is manga. And I've been buying my favorite ones. So I have this little routine in the morning, and I think this is a good way to answer this question. So every morning I get up, and work starts relatively late for me, around 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. depending on what day it is. So I usually make a cup of coffee, I grab whatever manga I'm reading, and I listen to music. So whether it's like lo-fi beats or something, just really chill where I don't really have to think about it. And I just do that. Just read the manga while drinking coffee and listening to music. And it just helps start the day, and I'm just like so happy after that, and I feel so relaxed. I don't know. And at night I pretty much just chill and unwind with a glass of wine and watch whatever I'm watching. So yeah, I think that's that. That's how I recharge my soul. Next up is hi manager. Hi. How's life juggling between work and studies? And most importantly, are you happy? What a nice question. Thank you for asking if I'm happy or not. Like, I'm so touched. Juggling life between work and studies is hard because of the time difference. Obviously, I'm working in US time and I study in Philippine time. So juggling that is pretty tough because I have to stay up really late some nights. And yeah, it takes a lot of effort to stay up that late and study for quizzes that are at 2, 3 a.m. stuff like that. Sometimes work and my studies kind of meet. Like there were times where I had to take my classes at work. But yeah, it's pretty tough, but I am so kind of happy that they're not in the same time zone, because I don't think I would be able to work as much if they were in the same time zone. So yeah. Now, am I happy? This is a very tough thing to answer, because I did talk about me not being in the best mental state and the best emotional state in 2020. It was a very tough year. For a lot of people, yeah, but I think I would say that I am happy sometimes. I'm okay. Like there are good and bad days, obviously. So yeah, but thank you for asking. I really appreciate that. What is your New Year's resolution? I'm not a big fan of New Year's resolutions. I just never get to do them. But if I were to make one today, it would be being a little more consistent with YouTube uploads, yeah. What is your take with people cheating? Oof. I didn't really think I would ever answer something like this, but it is an ask me anything, so I am against it, because I just don't think there's any way of justifying, you know, being unfaithful to your significant other. It's just, you're loyal or not, you're faithful or you're unfaithful. It's just that there's no gray area where it's kind of okay if you do this, if it's like, you know, no, there's no gray area. That's how I feel about it. Also, I'm a child of divorce, so yeah. How do you adjust your sleep from working in the morning and studying at night? I don't sleep. I'm kidding. I don't study. Both are jokes. Both are jokes. How does it feel like to be an adult now? Kind of sucks, honestly. Because number one, your parents don't pay for anything anymore, including your food. Number two, like planning a trip can be so difficult. Like my mom and I were planning this trip to Vermont, and it was like a 3-day trip. I ended up having to work like 4 days straight, like 4 whole days at work, just to get those 3 days off and then work immediately after. Is this what being an adult is about? Where is summer vacation? Where's winter vacation? I'm just kidding, but I get it. Yeah, it's kind of hard. It's very interesting. How does it feel that you can pretty much buy any stuff with your own money now? So it feels pretty great, you know, being able to buy like a laptop on my own, stuff like that, being able to buy food on my own. Like one of my 2020 breakdowns, one of the worst ones actually, was that I couldn't buy chicken wings because they weren't sending me allowance. Obviously, I was at home 24/7, so why would they send me allowance? So, but you know, it was just like, oh my gosh, I just want chicken wings. Why can't I buy chicken wings? And yeah, it feels pretty good being able to buy yourself things, not gonna lie, but there is a lot of discipline that should go into it, because like I have a credit card now and it's like I have to pay what amount? Like what? How did it get that high? So yeah, I still have a lot to learn when it comes to like managing money, 100%. Compared to your opinion about still preferring the Philippines over the US months back, has it changed? Honestly, it hasn't really changed. I would still very much prefer to be in the Philippines, although I do see the value of being in the US and obviously being able to earn more for the future, stuff like that. It's much more feasible here, but honestly, just speaking as a young adult, I would rather be in the Philippines. Truth time. Are you still a morning person? So my sister asked this question and the answer is no. Why? Because you can't drink in the morning. Cheers. Okay, in all seriousness, it's just anytime I can sleep in the morning, I will gladly sleep in. As a fellow Filipino, what did you feel when you saw snow? Lol. It felt really enchanting. I think that's the best way to say it. And it was really weird because I was at work and it was raining initially. So I came out and we have really big windows so we see what's outside. And I was like, why is the rain falling so slowly? What's up with that? And it turns out it was snow. So yeah, went outside, held my hand up like that and caught a few snowflakes. It was pretty cool, but I'm over it. It's so cold. Now that you've experienced winter, do you like it? No, I do not like it. I thought I was gonna love winter, but it's so hard because it's so cold all the time. You're freezing, you're wrapped up, you're wearing gloves, it's hard to move, and it hurts every second you're outside. I never thought I would say that I miss the Philippine heat, but I do. Yeah, that's what it's come to. Fall weather is great though, because it's cold and it doesn't hurt. What makes you happy? How deep? How deep is this question? What makes me happy? Well, right now, honestly, it's basically just geeking out. Because growing up, I wasn't very vocal about loving anime, loving games, loving like those kind of things. So right now that I'm working and I'm actually able to buy a few things for myself, like I can buy any game I want right now, I can buy manga. It's just really nice to be able to do that. And honestly, I'm of an age where I don't really care what people think anymore. Like, who cares if I like manga? Who cares if I like video games? You know, so you know, when I get to complete a series on when I buy like a complete series of manga, like the physical manga, it makes me really happy. When I finish a visual novel and I really enjoyed it, I'm just like, yes, bliss. What do you think about Christmas in New York versus Christmas in the Philippines? So Christmas in the Philippines is actually a lot more festive compared to here, because you know, Filipinos just like love celebrating. It's like September starts and there's lights everywhere, there's music everywhere. But in terms of actually celebrating Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, it's pretty much the same, because I just spend it with family. I don't really spend Christmas outside with friends. We have a meal together, we talk, we spend time together. So it's pretty much the same. I'm very happy to be able to spend it with my mom and my grandparents this year. So yeah, but overall, Philippine Christmases are just much more festive and interactive, I would say. When and why did you start your YouTube channel? This actually came from like a friend from elementary school that I haven't heard for many years, so I'm very touched that she asked that question. But I started this because I failed in my 4th year of dentistry, and I just wanted to do something for myself, do something creative, have an outlet, because school was my entire life and I failed. So yeah, I've talked about it multiple times already, so I'm just gonna leave it there. I just wanted some kind of creative outlet. And lastly, how is your life abroad? So life here in the US, I've always kind of hated being here because it's a provincial town. Okay, it's a lot less fun than being in Metro Manila, where it's like the city and you always have something to do. But I will say that life moves a lot quicker when you're waiting for a paycheck every Friday. So yeah, all I've been doing basically is working and studying here. I've barely gone out. I barely hang out with my mom even, really. So I kind of regret that part. So definitely taking some time off to just chill and relax and spend time with my family in 2022. So yeah, that's pretty much where I'm ending this video in terms of questions. I do want to end it by thanking you guys and thanking everybody who has supported the channel, you know, just by subscribing or commenting or messaging me on Instagram. It makes me so unbelievably happy, and I could not thank you enough. This was just an outlet for me, just something to do for myself, like I said earlier, but it's kind of turned into something that's really become a part of me, and I can't believe that as of shooting this video, I have 3,411 subscribers. Like, that is such a big number to me. I know it's small, but it's a big number to me. So I just want to thank you. Thank you, everybody. So yeah, Happy New Year. Cheers. And I'll see you in the next one.